All right. So now this is one of my favorite moments. This is going to be stage right. I'm going to take you through the stage right area as you would enter from. This is where the kids want you. They'll come right from their band. You'll experience kind of how the kids are going to come into these spaces, and then we'll huddle up in here, and I'll talk to you some more in here. So come on through. Just like the actors doing Hollywood.
Holy! Wow. That's awesome. Yeah. It's not awesome, it's fantastic. Oh, wow. It's like I'm at the shower center. Oh my God, and that was pretty cool. This is beautiful. Oh my God, look at the pit.
Yeah.
So again,
Long ways from my pit.
when we took the temperature of the community and handed out that survey, the survey results said, you know, the original number is like 11.5 million to build an auditorium with a balcony. And so we did is we just shoved it back stadium style. We studied 8 different facilities and kind of within the state and stole our favorite ideas from each of those: stage height, color of wood, these new acoustical panels that are made of wood that give it a really rich finish. Where you're standing right now, this is going to be handicap seating for wheelchair folks. There's an identical one on the other side, and then there's these 3 cutouts in the front of each of the back sections. That's where wheelchair seating. So about 830 seating with handicap seating accounted for. 810 assigned seats. We're going to go with the ticketing software for the musical, so you'll be assigned a seat. No more of the days where maybe people block off their favorite seat for the whole weekend. We just got to get away from that and just have it be a ticket situation to make sure that everyone's ticket is honored. So November 1st, 2nd, 3rd, and 4th, Wizard of Oz. Heidi Lofi brought that back from, I believe it was 2002. That was one of the more popular shows in school history, and we really wanted to have a show that celebrated in a manner that the whole community would get excited about the show. So next week, the elementary students are auditioning for the Munchkins. So we'll have lots of little kids in that show. It'll just be a show that everybody can enjoy. It'll take advantage that we have a full fly system. We have a trap door where the Wicked Witch can melt away. It does have, if you see that area, it came with, the board is very passionate about having a full fly so you could do legitimate big time shows in here, because we saved 1.5 million taking the balcony out. But we kept in the full fly, we kept in an orchestra pit so that you can have a legitimate space. We used to have like plywood walls that were painted black that you hid the orchestra.
Yes.
Now we have a legitimate, it's wired for sound down there. You can have an invisible orchestra where the top of the stage comes out to the front edge, or you can have an exposed orchestra on risers so you can watch the kids play and have the front of stage be that exposed lip right there, and that would be front of stage. So you can do it 2 ways. Okay? Hold on. So I'm going to loop you out here. As I take you out here, I want to tell you about another feature of the space. As we toured those 8 facilities that summer of 2016, everyone we talked to said, we made our lobby too small. Our lobby's too small. You go to intermission and it's wall-to-wall people. So we supersized the lobby for 2 reasons. A, the lessons learned for transitional times during the beginnings and endings of concerts, but also because we feel like the lobby can be a space unto itself. We may not use this 365 days a year, but we think that lobby could be used for a parents' night for the soccer team, for the class of 1988 to have a gathering and meet in there, and have a social, set out some refreshments, and have a place to meet before you go to the football game. So I'm going to take you there.
Auditorium thing?
This space is so new that the furniture hasn't even arrived yet. We're going to have short and tall pub and regular sized tables and chairs. This will hold 150 seating and 300 people standing.
And on our software, Jenny Boyd has a form on there where you can sign out the auditorium for use. There's separate sign-outs. You can just sign out the lobby, and we keep the auditorium locked off, and the lobby would be its own space. We're thinking for maybe a Rotary event, or the band's talked about having a little jazz event here where you don't use the full stage, but it's got acoustical paneling just like the main house out here, so it sounds very good too. Okay? What part of the overall 5-building project, the $42 million referendum, was out with the porta potties and the white shed and in with a legitimate concession stand. And so now that's where this parking lot is a critical piece of this. It holds 194 cars total, 185 regular, 9 handicapped. Friday night football games, ample parking, and a very, very nice concession stand. It was modeled after Lawrence University's concession stand by our architect, and they took that size and made it high school appropriate. And what we did is we lost so much green space here that the school board voted to purchase the Gaiman trucking property. Gary Gaiman is ready to shut down his trucking depot over there across from the village, and he very reasonably, just for assessed value, sold that to the district. We're turning that into the JV baseball diamond because it's 4 1/4 acres over there, so that'll be a new baseball diamond. You'll walk from the soccer bleachers through the woods there. We're going to have a trail, and then you go out onto that green space. And then nights and weekends, the village will be able to use it for flag football, soccer, any of that youth programming that Tony Dobson coordinates. So it'll be joint spaces, just like we do in Slinger. Community park. The village actually owns the softball diamonds. That's part of their property at the middle school. We just share all these spaces because we have a rec department without very, very few of their own spaces. We've got the gyms and fields. They've got the programming. We just team up on it. Because this space, a lot of our green space got eaten up here. Okay, so this is full-time, just a practice field and track. And we just expanded the track to a 7th and 8th lane. That money came out of fund balance because the referendum dollars, that was not a question on the referendum, was renovating the track. So we came out of operational dollars to make the track a regulation track. And because of the concession stand, because of the parking, all the things we have here, the WIA has already contacted us and asked if we would host some postseason track tournaments this coming spring, because they feel like our athletic complex is now one of the better attractions in the state. So.
Darren,